Defying Silence: The Untold Jewish Strategies of Survival in the Holocaust. Written by Truman. Narrated by Steffan Rudiger. Chapter 1. Introduction. Germany has always had a rich history. Charlemagne, or Charles the Great, King of the Franks, had been crowned Holy Roman Emperor in 800 AD, Gregory V became the first German Pope in 996, the Great Famine and Black Death in the 14th century, Martin Luther and the Protestant Reformation in 1517, the Napoleonic Wars in the early parts of the 19th century, Otto von Bismarck overseeing the unification of Germany in the mid-19th century. It is a centuries-old history, but today Germany is known primarily for its 12 years. The years 1933 to 1945 were a difficult period for the entire continent of Europe. With Adolf Hitler becoming Chancellor of Germany and eventual leader of the National Socialist German Workers' Party, these years brought on, what this author believes, a new dark age to German, European, and most importantly, Jewish history. Hitler took the remnants of a broken population in the wake of World War I and rebuilt them into a proud European nation. In doing so, he was aware that a scapegoat was needed. What better choice than the Jewish population that was allegedly in control of the German banking system and economy? What would follow were the years of a megalomaniac focused on creating the most powerful country in the world, comprised of the perfect race. The Holocaust, 1933 to 1945, was a horrific event, masterminded by Hitler and his legion of Nazi personnel, which led to the deaths of over 6 million Jewish people in Europe. A great level of methodology and planning went into devising the best possible way to exterminate the European Jewish population while at the same time keeping the mass of German civilians in the dark. In the early stages, Hitler authorized the use of the euthanasia hospitals, gas vans, and, after the start of Operation Barbarossa, the deployment of Einsatzgruppen, mobile killing squads. But after seeing the emotional and psychological toll that face-to-face killing was taking on the perpetrators, extermination camps that housed gassing chambers, with some capable of killing 2,000 people in 30 minutes, were introduced. Once all of Europe was embroiled in war, Hitler and the Nazis were able to begin killing the Jews on a mass scale because the majority of the continent was focused on the events surrounding them and not on the systematic elimination of the Jewish population. In 1939, Hitler was quoted as saying that after the war was won and Lebensraum, living space, was achieved, no one would ask about German actions. Who, he allegedly asked rhetorically, after all, speaks today of the annihilation of the Armenians? In the historical context, the man was correct. Kristallnacht, Night of Broken Glass, on the night of 9 to 10 November 1938, took even the people of Germany by surprise when Nazi SA paramilitary units attacked Jewish businesses, synagogues, and people. The day after Kristallnacht, Hermann Göring told a conference audience, "The Jewish problem will reach its solution if, in any time soon, we are drawn into war beyond our border. Then it is obvious that we will have to manage a final account with the Jews." Holocaust history is about who killed the Jews, how and why it was done, but also the largely little-known ways the Jewish people fought to survive. Historians have largely overlooked this subject, except for a few notable exceptions. Overall, historical accounts of the survival tactics employed by the European Jewish population have been largely passed down through personal recollections from those involved. With these personal accounts, historians and readers have garnered a greater understanding of how the Jews put forth such a valiant effort to demonstrate to their German oppressors that they would not go quietly into the night. The actions that the Jews took to undermine their German oppressors went mostly unnoticed until the end of the war, and even then, the majority of what they performed was unknown for years after. It was much more difficult to have a fighting chance for survival in the early years of the war when the Einsatzgruppen were rounding up entire villages and executing their inhabitants in the forests outside towns, because at that point, the European Jewish population was unaware of the Germans' motives. It was in the ghettos, where the Germans had first consolidated the Jewish population of Poland,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?